Good afternoon. Welcome to the Shrine of Remembrance's last post-service. Each week we pause to remember the service and sacrifice of more than 400,000 Victorians who have served and continue to serve our nation. This week, in observance of War Animals and Remembrance Day, we reflect upon the service of Australian war animals. My name is Captain Tyson Taylor, Shrine Governor. I'm joined today by Wendy Harrison, Treasurer of the Australian War Animal Memorial Organisation, Mr. Paul McNear, Royal Australian Air Force Dog Handlers Association, Mr. Jerry and Ed Sheehan, pigeon fanciers and nephews of Teddy Sheehan, Victoria Cross, Andreas Seifer with retired assistance dog Norris, and Richard Lord, representing Integra Services Dogs Australia. Thomas, with assistance dog Bruce, and Leanne Kyle, representing Defence Community Dogs. Thank you for your attendance. Members of the Indy Light Horse and the 4th and 8th Light Horse Troop, part of the Australian Light Horse Association, and members of Victoria Police's Mounted Branch. We welcome and thank you all for supporting us in this service here today. The Shrine of Remembrance is held in care by the Shrine Trustees on behalf of all Victorians. We embrace the diversity of our community and acknowledge the Boonwurrung people of the Kulin Nation as the traditional custodians of the land on which we honour Australian Defence Force service and sacrifice. We pay our respects to their elders, past and present. The Shrine of Remembrance was dedicated in 1934 to commemorate the 114,000 Victorians who were listed in the First World War. 89,100 of them whom deployed to war and 19,000 were killed. Our purpose now is to honour the service and sacrifice of all Victorians and Australians who have served in war, conflict, peacemaking and peacekeeping. We warmly welcome all veterans and members of the Australian Defence Force and the families who love and support them. And to all of you, be you residents or visitors of Victoria, welcome. I am pleased today to introduce the Shrine Guard. The Shrine Guard has protected and provided ceremonial support to the Shrine since 1935. They wear a uniform similar to that of the Australian Light Horse during the First World War, a legacy of those first Shrine Guard, all of whom were veterans of that war. Shrine Guard, take post. We commence our service with the Australian National Anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able to, please stand and join in singing the anthem. Thank you.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. On Friday, the 24th of February, Australia marked War Animals Remembrance Day, a day when we reflect upon the deeds and sacrifices of animals in wartime. Australia's recognition and regard for the service of war animals is long-standing. To my left stands the memorial trough commissioned by the Purple Cross Society of Victoria to war horses and unveiled by General Sir John Monash in 1926, 8 years prior to the shrine's opening. It bears the following inscription, words which might apply to the service of all war animals. He gains no crosses as a soldier may, no medals for the many risks he runs. He only is puzzled, patient way, sticks to his guns. Animals have played an important role in the wars. They have served in all branches of the Australian Defence Force as transport, beasts of burden, messengers, protectors, and mascots. There are some obvious examples. Dogs have been messengers, search animals, mine detectors, and most recently in Afghanistan as improvised explosive device detectors. Dogs also play an important part in the life of a veteran after their service, supporting them through recovery from physical and mental trauma. 136,000 horses were sent in the First World War. One only, Sandy, came home. The rest were left behind, unable to return with the men they have faithfully served. Donkeys were made famous by Simpson at Gallipoli, while the camel was an integral part of Australia's desert campaign in Palestine during the First World War. Carrier pigeons were used during the First and Second World Wars. Some were even awarded medals of gallantry. Other animals have acted as mascots. Cats, goats, kangaroos, possums, eagles, monkeys, turtles, and many more have gone to war with their humans. Untold numbers who have been killed because of war. There is no unshakable bond between service animals and their human companions. They serve with us, protect us, guide us, and even love us. Today, remember all of them. We are joined by several people familiar with this tremendous role animals play alongside service personnel. Among them is Andreas Seifer. Andreas is a veteran of the Australian Army and is joined by his retired assistance dog, Norris. Also, we have Thomas, also a veteran of the Australian Army. Thomas is joined by his assistance dog, Bruce, who supported him physically and emotionally while he rebuilt his life post his military service. We also have Jerry and Ed Sheehan. Brothers Jerry and Ed raise and race pigeons. Having started in the sport as boys in the 1960s, Jerry and Ed are also the nephews of Teddy Sheehan, Victoria Cross recipient, the only member of the Royal Australian Navy to receive the Victoria Cross. Wendy Harrison, to my right, is the treasurer of the Australian War and Animals Memorial Organisation, an organisation whose work ensures the impact of war on animals is never forgotten. With Wendy is Paul McNear of the Royal Australian Air Force Dog Handlers Association. Today, Andreas, Thomas, Jerry, Ed, Wendy, Paul, and others will lay wreaths at the eternal flame. These wreaths recognise the unique bonds forged between service animals and their human companions. And with it, we honour the services of all animals in war. Ladies and gentlemen, the wreaths will now be laid at the eternal flame in a symbolic act of remembrance. The ode will now be recited, followed by the sounding of the last post. The ode is the fourth verse of Lawrence Binyon's poem, The Fallen. The last post is a traditional military bugle call that marked the end of the day. Now it is played to commemorate those killed in war. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand, and I encourage you to participate by repeating the phrases, "We will remember them," and "Lest we forget."
They shall not grow old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we shall remember them. Lest we forget.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. In the concluding part of our service here today, the Shrine Guard will lower the flags. Today, we fly the Australian national flag, the Victorian state flag, and the flag of the 46th Battalion, Australian Infantry, which served in the First World War. Today, the flags fly at half-mast in honour of the State Memorial Service for Dame Olivia Newton-John, AC DBE. The Shrine Guard will raise and then lower the flags while the bugle calls, "Retreat" is sounded. At the conclusion of the retreat, pigeons will be released from the shrine steps. Shrine Guard, take post. The flags will now be lowered. The shrine belongs to all Victorians. It is a symbol of their love and enduring commitment, representing the suffering and loss of a nation and the sacrifice of those who have served in the face of conflict and carry its scars. Today, you have joined us in giving remembrance. On behalf of the Shrine trustees, thank you. I would like to acknowledge and thank all today's participants in our last post service. Also, thank our bugler, Sarah Clark, piper, Benjamin Casey, and Shrine Young Ambassador, Robin, and the Shrine Guard. Thank you. The Shrine Guard and members of the ceremonial party are available following the service if you would like to meet them or take any photographs. Many of you today have been given a poppy. You are welcome to come forward at the end of the service to place your personal floral tribute with the wreath at the eternal flame. That concludes this afternoon's last post service, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for visiting Victoria's Shrine of Remembrance. I invite you to continue your peaceful reflection and wish you a good afternoon. Shrine Guard, fall out. Check, make sure, yep, off you go, your next bit, done. Beautiful. That wasn't too bad, was it?
No, thank you so much for guiding me.
No, that's fine, no problem. It was a really good turnout, so a lot of people here, and it was a beautiful service. So, and it'll be on YouTube and everything like that, so you'll have it, you can save it and all that sort of stuff.
We will, and we'll put it definitely up on the Awamo website.
And whereabouts here are you based?
I'm out Yarra Valley.
Oh, is that where you are? Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Oh, no, I am.
Oh,
I'm
you
the
are?
Victorian connection.
Oh, perfect.
We've got people in Western Australia, but the majority, the President, Vice President, and a few others are in Queensland.
Okay.
So,
Can I take a picture of the two of you together with the shrine in the background?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dale, do you want to be in a photo?
Dale.
Do you want to be in a photo?
Sure.